Then now you would type impacts of climate change on, for example, on marine ecosystems. And as I said before, you can change the font, and it's important too for your audience in terms of the style of the presentation. As you learned in your word processing class, you can change the font, you can change the font, the font, you can change the font color, you can do a myriad of things in terms of your design of your slide. And then now in your subtitle word box, you add your bulletin points stating the impacts of climate change on marine ecosystems. Essentially, you're employing the same, what you have learned within Word, you're employing it to PowerPoint in terms of writing. But the most important thing when it comes to PowerPoint is knowing your audience and limit the amount of information that you are presenting. You cannot put everything on your slide. That is information overload. So you will confuse the audience because you would be speaking and the audience have to read all of that information on the slide. And you will lose marks for presenting when your tutor is grading your presentation. You need to research your topic and ensure that you know the information and you only put the key points on your presentation. For example, then now after you talk about the impacts of climate change on marine ecosystems, you just go ahead and for example, in this section now you could talk about solutions or recommendations. It is important when, for example, you're speaking about any issue, for example, an environmental issue or any issue you're speaking about. Once you're speaking about a problem, have some recommendation or solution at the end of your presentation. So as you see, guys, my PowerPoint is very easy. Once you select your theme, you're employing the same technique from Word in terms of just changing the font and style of the words and just using your word box to insert information. Somebody has something to say?
No, sir.
Okay. For example, if you want also to make your, suppose you wanted to insert an image of highlighting the migration of turtles in the Caribbean due to climate change, and you have a photo depicting that. You would click insert. Everybody's seeing, I hope everybody's paying attention because guys, you'll have to do this. You click insert and you would click insert pictures, and you see you have insert picture from this device, which would be your computer, stock images, or online pictures. Stock images won't be available to you because you would have to sign up for that. But what you could do is search for the image on Google, download it onto your device, and then click your downloads folder. So you click this device.
Or you could just print screen it and then Control V and crop out the parts that you don't need.
Yes, you can. Who is that?
Then,
Who is speaking? Who said that a while ago?
Ethan O'Connor.
Yes, that's right. Great, Ethan. So you can copy the image on you onto the screen, or you can just insert it. Also, you can insert shapes, and you can also insert tables. So for example, let's say I want to look at turtle migration within the Caribbean based on climate change or rising temperatures within the Caribbean. And you want to look at the number of turtles, depict that. You just click table and you would move your cursor based on the number of columns you want to have. As you see, if I want 3, 4, 5 columns, you just continually go ahead. See, you have 2 columns highlighted, 4 columns highlighted, 5 columns, 6 columns highlighted, and you go down. So you go across for the table, for the columns, sorry, and then you go down for your rows. And then now in your column, you could write type of turtles, year. In terms of the year, you collected the data, and then migration rate. And then you just put in the name of the turtles coming in the row in each of the different cells, each of the different boxes, and then you put in the different years, and then you put in the migration rate. Most importantly, especially for the tropical forest group, you need to insert along with a title for everybody. You need to insert, for example, if the title of you're saying impacts of, this would be the title of your page, impacts of climate change on turtles. You still need to label your table. So for the persons who do biology, chemistry, matter of fact, any science subject, you would learn that you need to label all graphs need to be properly labeled. So what you would do is you click insert, and you go across and you click text box, and you go below your whatever your diagram is, and you drag down your text box, and then as you see, your cursor is already prompted within the text box, and then you give the table a title. Can somebody give me a prop from the tropical forest group? Or anybody can give me an appropriate title for this table, please?
Appropriate title for the graph would be
Would turtle migration be one?
Yes, it would. That's Ramprasad, right? Who just spoke?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, turtle migration is one, but you would to be more specific, you need to say, you would label it table. If it's your first table, you would write table 1 dot, and then you say a table showing the migration. You need to be more specific when you are giving not labeling type. I'm giving a title to your whatever diagram it is. So whether it's a graph, an image, you need to be specific with your title. So for example, the table, you would say a table showing the migration rates of turtles within the Caribbean Sea. And then if you got the table from wherever you source the table, you would, for the tropical forest group, especially in your assignments, you would put the site where you got the table from. So anything that is not yours, everybody needs to bear this in mind. Anything that is not yours, you need to credit the source from which you got it. Beautiful. Okay, Naomi, just seeing this. Yes, that could work. A table showing, well, data analysis, showing the data analysis on turtle migration. Yes, that could work as well. That could work as well. And you put your citation within the brackets. For example, you would put Ram Prasad. So if the author is Ram Prasad and the year that they post it, Ram Prasad, you'll see it on the website. I'm going to show you how to cite your work. So you put Ram Prasad, comma, 2021. And that's it. So that is how you insert your word box and whatever diagram. So this is a table. You could also insert a chart. See, could insert your chart and you put in the data and you insert your chart. Excuse me. So you can insert table. So you can play around with your assignment. You can insert table, pictures, different shapes, and also you can insert a video into your presentation. As I said, with the video, is the same thing with the image. You can either download the video from your device, download the video onto your device, or you could search online, click online videos, and find and insert a video from an online source. Then now, when you're finished with your presentation, when you're finished with your presentation, you need to, as you see in your classes, you have to make it more fun and more interesting, as you guys were saying, in terms of what makes a presentation great. Okay, so guys, I'll pick up where I left off. Well, yeah, Tremaine will pick up where I left off, because Mr. Campbell,
Hi, everyone.
Mr. Campbell is here. So I will post your assignment within the Google Classroom, and I will put further instructions in terms of what you should do. All right, Mr. Campbell, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So good morning. My name is Gavin Campbell. I am a PhD candidate at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica. I am studying insects, particularly those of temperate water bodies, so ones that come and go throughout the year. They're here at one point, and then throughout the year they dry out or something else happens and they're not there anymore. And I'm studying how these different ecosystems interact, what insects are there, and how they adapt to drying out regularly and how they adapt to being flooded, particularly. I work with Tremaine Bowman as well too. So I am quite versed with all the things that she's been talking about, all the things that she's been doing. Very proud of her, very supportive of her. And throughout this session, I'll be talking about some of my experiences as a researcher and also as a graduate student in general. And if you have any questions at any point, please feel free to pause and ask. And let me know if there's anything that would be interesting that you'd want to hear particularly about that applies to you or applies to anything you'd want to be doing in the future. So for me, I have a bunch of pictures as well. I also had videos, but I decided not to put them in the presentation today because it would be a bit hectic, I think, with the bandwidth. So I decided just to use pictures. So I'll be showing you some of the experiences I've had in the past and some of the things that I've been able to do as a graduate student and a researcher at the University of West Indies. Please let me know if I'm talking too quickly. You can either pop up on the mic or you can send a message in the chat and I'll be able to see. I do have a tendency to talk quickly. So if you can't hear me or can't understand, please let me know, okay? Everything good? Okay, assuming everything is good, I'm gonna start with the presentation. Okay. All right, let me know if you can see this picture.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So I, as a grad student, have been able to travel a lot because of my work with research. So in the past, in 2018, I was able to work on an internship in France. And in that time, I was able to go to France, different countries in France, different cities in France. I went to a city named Brest, Paris, and another one named Nantes. And in the following year, I was able to go on a research conference particularly. And on that conference, I was able to go to Greece, Italy, and Vatican City. So being a researcher does help to get around if you want, so you can look more into it. So I'm going to show you some of the pictures from different places that I've been and some of the work that I have been a part of. So this is me in Greece at the Acropolis. I'm not sure if you guys know, but the Acropolis is a really old set of buildings at the top or at one of the top of the mountains of Greece. This is me in front of the Parthenon that was being reconstructed recently. This is another structure near the Acropolis called the Olympian, which is the gateway to the gods originally. Very gorgeous. This was in Rome last year. Before the conference, I went to the Colosseum to be able to experience all that ancient glory. This is me outside the Colosseum, and this is the Colosseum itself at night. So you can see that it's pretty gorgeous and also pretty old. You can see different structures being rebuilt throughout time at different phases. This is the Trevi Fountain at night, the Trevi Fountain at day, Trevi Fountain at day again. Some really great food that I was able to experience in Italy as well. This is again Greece, different parts of the structures. In Italy, they do food really quite well. So they were able to find something that has been not recorded much before, which was putting fries on pizza. I personally love fries, and being able to see fries on pizza and it tasted really good was something that I never thought of before, and I really enjoyed.
Just put fries on pizza.
Yes, fries on pizza are good. You don't like fries on pizza? Or have you never tried it? But also, in addition to being, in addition to traveling internationally, I've also traveled locally across the island. I have gone on, I think it's 86 different trips in the past 3 years across the island everywhere. And because of being a grad student and helping people with not just my projects, but also their projects, I've been able to go on these trips for free. So this is one of the trips. I was working as an intern, working to study birds or migratory birds in North America that travel to Jamaica each year. So while on that trip, after we collected our data, we went to the beach and did stuff like this. So there's so many different places that being a researcher has or allows you access to that you wouldn't normally get access to. This was all free. This was somewhere that people don't even know about or even pop up. So it's really an eye-opening experience, especially if you're in the biological sciences, because if you do love nature, you'll get to see so many different aspects of nature that never really thought of or saw before, and that aren't as well publicized. Oh, and I also make YouTube videos, so yeah, you can check that out if you want to. And that's why I didn't really add any videos today, because, or a part of the reason why, because you can find them online, and I didn't want to take up a bit too much of anyone's time with the length of the videos. I also went to LA for a little bit. So not last year, in 2018, with the help of some funds from the university, I was able to go to LA for a few weeks and just enjoy time as a very young person. And in one of those times, I did something that I wanted to do for a long, long while, was stay in an airport. So I could have booked a place when I was waiting on a particular flight to come back to Jamaica, but I decided instead to stay in the airport for 40 hours because why not, right? It was very cool, very nice. It got Actually, I really enjoyed it. It was really peaceful. The airport was nice. It was very calm, very chill. People were coming and going. I remember particularly going to sleep in the airport. There were these seats you could just lie down in, and I had my bags underneath my feet, like blocking them just in case anybody tried to steal anything. But nobody did. And I remember sleeping on some pillows in the airport and waking up to people just bustling around. So it was a very international airport. So at different times of the day, like 12 a.m. and everything, there would be flights coming in and coming and going. So there'd be people bustling every now and then. And I remember waking up one time and seeing someone sitting beside me, just working on their laptop. And I found that experience so cool because it really showed me how people have their own stuff going on, right? People have their own lives to live, they have their own flights to catch and everything. So when it comes to just being you and doing whatever you want to, no one's gonna be focusing particularly on that. It may have looked weird if somebody saw me sitting in the airport for 40 hours straight, but no one was concerned about that. No one was particularly looking at me doing that, and I felt free to kind of just do whatever I wanted, which was just work on some pieces work at that point in time. This is my birthday in Paris. When I turned 24, I was able to go to Paris, as I mentioned earlier, and I was able to climb the Eiffel Tower on the day itself. It was a lot of waiting in the lines and a lot of people for sure, but it was a really cool experience. And it's a lot of walking. Like the steps are really, really steep. So walking is an entire workout. So please, if you are going to go or when you are going to go, be prepared for walking. There's an option for taking an elevator, but what fun would that be, right? Gotta walk the entire walkable length of the Eiffel Tower. In France as well too, I was able to visit the Arc de Triomphe the following day, so right after my birthday, and that one was also cool. There was also an underground structure that connected everything to everything else, so you wouldn't cross this particular street behind me. You'd actually go underground and then end up somewhere else. But I did not know that. So what I did was amid the busy traffic, I ran or walked really quickly through the traffic to try to get there. And then police showed up and told me that's not where I'm supposed to walk. So as as a young person traveling, you do learn a lot about what you should and shouldn't do, and also about learning languages as well too. When I started in when I started working in France, I really, really did not know a lot of French. I knew like how to count to maybe 10 and how to say hello, goodbye and stuff, but I was not good at all. But having been there, having learned, having started to properly learn French in France was a really good eye-opening experience because it made me associate more with certain words or certain phrases rather than just learning them in a textbook. So I would be able to live them rather than learn them, rather than learn them through a book. So I'd be more connected to them. And ever since then, I've been practicing more and more and talking to still some friends from France to practice my French to get everything up there because having multiple languages that you can talk, multiple languages that you can be that you can communicate in is a really beneficial tool for not just your career but also for your personal life. If you want to make more friends, you have more options for friends, then you have more options for languages in which to communicate with said friends. So there are a lot of things that you can learn from these very, very quick, small experiences that you wouldn't necessarily think of initially, but can be really good when you do particularly graduate research. Because all of this, remember, was free. On the internship, I was able to, on the internship, I was able to get paid. So obviously, in a paid internship, you get paid. They also covered, they covered airfare, transportation, or no, they covered airfare, they covered housing, and they gave me a stipend to live. So it was a really good experience, and because the exchange rate there is much greater and they pay people more reasonably there, I was able to use that money to get to go on these trips. So it was really a great experience for me and hopefully you too in the future. This has been I've been on this picture a long time. Me again at the Eiffel Tower. So in the city that I was staying called Brest, there was this ice museum or a water museum or aquatic museum that housed penguins. I couldn't find any good pictures of the penguins. There are videos for later on, but this is one of me just standing in front of their tank, just watching them swim and catch fish and everything. It was really cool and actually both really cool in terms of both literally and figuratively because it was cold. They had to, obviously as penguins, they need to be in a cooler environment. So the entire area was icy and the water was chilled. So yeah. This is a picture of a polar bear that they captured, or not captured, but they found and kind of stuffed nearby. And they just had it displayed because of the ice exhibit of it all. There was also a terrestrial exhibit, a part where, a section where you focus, not terrestrial, sorry, tropical exhibit, where you focused on organisms of tropical areas. So you had different kinds of sharks, corals, fish, everything there. This is a crepe. This is one of the best things that I had when I was there. It is a sweet, I think you guys might know crepes, but it's a sweet, sometimes it can be sweet, sometimes it can be savory. This one particularly with the ice cream on top was super sweet and it was so good. I really enjoyed the food while traveling because there's so many different things you get opened up to that you didn't even know about. So that's definitely something to look forward to, absolutely. When I was in Madrid, so coming from Paris to Madrid, I went to visit for a weekend. And one of the things, one of the features that was at or in Madrid at the time was this giant bear. So there was a person inside. I obviously went and hugged the bear because
Panda.
yeah, sorry, panda bear. So I obviously went and hugged up the bear because as you are, when you are in a different country and you see a giant, a giant panda with a human inside, you obviously have to hug it. So this is me collecting some data on one of the particular spots, helping one of my colleagues in collecting data. So in collecting data in the field, there are usually some precarious situations that you can't really have access to. So to stabilize oneself, one needs to do certain things. And also this is just me being extra as well too. For my research, I study ponds themselves, and this is a picture of me in one of my ponds. And it comes and goes as I mentioned before. So you can see in the green area, it's just regular grass, not any particular aquatic plants around it, because the area is flooded. It's normally terrestrial, and it's just regularly flooded after heavy rains. So me collecting data, not collecting data at that right moment, but collecting data in general for that particular pond. And it's also a pond on the university campus, so it's quite quick to access. On the internship with the birds in 2019, I was able to get some work. It was here in Jamaica, and I was able to get some work done on tracking birds. So each of the birds had a little geotransmitter, and we'd be able to use this particular antenna to track them, track their locations, and track their movements throughout the day and throughout different periods of time. So we could see where they're going, what they're eating, where they're staying, how they're behaving, how they're interacting, and everything. So this was in a mangrove. It was filled with mosquitoes. It was a lot of mud and a lot of ticks. So if you're going to be in field work, prepare for stuff like that, because it is going to be hectic, but also really fun and rewarding. After you've done a day with all of that, you absolutely do deserve a break and deserve to be chilling by the beach right after. This is a picture of Tremaine right here in the brown, and our supervisor, Dr. Isla. And Tremaine is collecting some data on fish in her particular location, in her study site. We always usually help out each other with our projects. So if Tremaine is going on a trip and she needs some help, she'll contact us, we'll help her out. So I was there taking pictures and supporting overall. So Tremaine would hold one end of the net, and then my supervisor or our supervisor would go out of the water, make a little loop, and then pull the loop together to catch whatever fish are within the area. In one of the samples nearby the sea, we found a pufferfish. The pufferfish is very bloated right now, trying to protect itself from us, but we're not much of a danger to it. Even though we did catch it, it wasn't really our intention, but still, pufferfish puffed up. We've also worked with, or I've also worked with the Jamaican iguana, which is one of the most endangered organisms in the world. I think it's the 7th most endangered organism, and it is really rare in Jamaica. It's only found in Jamaica, and it's really rare because its populations have been decimated in the past years as a result of human interaction and human habitat destruction. So they are really clinging on. There are projects working at the Hope Zoo that are able to help and restore the populations to get them back up to health before they're able to be released back into the wild. So this is one of the pictures of one of those particular projects. They're screening the iguanas here to check how they're doing, to see if they're able to be released back into the wild, or if they need to still stay at the zoo until they're bigger and older. Because if they're too small, then wild animals, or pets technically, like cats and goats, and cats and dogs would attack them, but goats themselves would outcompete them when it comes to the food that they eat. So there are different projects working on understanding the iguana itself, and also how it's going to be able to sustain a population without the help of the zoo. So people are studying places like Goats Island and Elch Hills to kind of provide closed off areas for them to have access without any predators and without any major competitors. Just another close-up picture. They're terrifying if you get too close. I've heard of people having their fingers cut off because of their bites. So you do not want to play, even though they're herbivores and they eat only grass, their teeth are incredibly sharp. So you do not want to play with these. You have to be incredibly serious, or you could end up getting hurt. On the bird internship, I was able to handle birds as well too. So this is one of the birds that I was able to get access to, and it was interesting to be able to be a part of something like this, because I would always see birds, yes, but I'd never be able to actually hold them and feel how delicate they are and how warm they are if I hadn't been on the internship. So it gave me a greater appreciation overall for the organisms in my area, not just birds, but also everything else around, because in that time I hadn't really given much attention to birds, and it made me realize that there are other things that I haven't given attention to, and there are so many other things that have so many very, very interesting and neat aspects of themselves that I could learn to appreciate, you know? So that's one of the things that being a grad student in natural sciences does help you to get access to. On some of our trips as well too, we go to places like this. This is a waterfall in Portland, And at the end of one of our trips, we would go here just to cool off, just to have fun. And the water was freezing. Do not let the people smiling judge you. I think the girl in green, you can see her reaction. She's cool. So that's one of the different places we get access to when we are in the field. Beautiful waterfall. And this is it from a wider angle. This is the supervisor again in the water, just standing there. He was waiting on us to get something. I forget exactly what, but he was just chilling, just waiting right there in the water. So in some of my visits, I've been able to visit other museums, and in one of them in particular, I've been able to see different fossils of organisms. And this one was at the La Brea tar pits in LA, where there was a focus on particular organisms that got trapped in water, not in water, in tar overall. So these ones, their bones were very, very large tar pits. They'd be walking through, and then because the tar pit is very thick and dense, as you would know, they got stuck and got trapped and they died. But in their deaths, their bones were able to be well preserved. So there are a lot of fossils of them in the area that are indicative of what conditions were like in the past and what species of animals were there throughout time. I do not remember the names for any of these, but this one was a mammoth, sure. Another museum that I visited was, I think it was the National Science Museum, also in California. And they had different exhibits of different structures. This one was a fighter jet in the middle. It was one of the centerpieces of the entire museum. Another one was this structure. I don't want to call it the wrong thing, but it was something that's used in space to be projected. I think it's one of the things that dropped one of the rovers on Mars, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's definitely a space object. In LA as well, because it was to celebrate New Year. So that was another really cool experience, because being in a whole new country during New Year, everybody knows the excitement of New Year itself is already really cool. But to be in a new country at the point of New Year was a different experience, because you get to see how other people interact, how other people celebrate New Year, and how we have that in common. Regardless of wherever we are, a lot of people do celebrate different things throughout the year in similar ways. Even though they're different, we're still celebrating the different fireworks and everything. So it was a really another fun, cool experience. Oh, and if you couldn't tell from these pictures, I travel alone most of the time. So on my many trips around the countries and around this country, well, actually in Jamaica I travel with other people, but around the world I travel alone, and I really do enjoy that a lot, because I'm an introvert, but I really love just being on my own, because when I'm on my own, I get to learn more about myself and more about what I can do and more about the world without anybody else's views like obstructing it. So that was the last picture. So for now on, I'm just going to be talking about whatever else. And if you guys have any questions, anything that you want to ask, please feel free. If you have anything you want to share about, go ahead. Anyone? Was someone opening their mic? Guess not. So when it comes to traveling alone, it's something that I've really enjoyed, because it teaches me a lot about myself. I remember, so when I started traveling internationally, I was relatively young. I was 23 when it started, and at the time, I still considered myself a kid. Even now, I still consider myself a kid. And it was eye-opening for me to realize that I'm not a kid anymore. So when I booked my first flight, I was expecting something to go wrong. I was expecting the date to be wrong, or me not to have checked in on something, or something else. Someone else was saying something? Okay. So I was expecting something to go wrong when I booked my first flight, and I was really overwhelmed and proud of myself when I was able to do that on my own, because it was that indication for me that I can do anything that I want. I am not limited in my experience and my knowledge in anything, in the goals that I want to achieve and the things that I want to do, and the possibilities for my future. So as much as it might be scary or it might be new, if other people have done it, I can do it too. There's something that stops me from being able to do certain things. So one of the things that I want you particularly to remember and believe in is that you can do whatever you want to do. And if you don't want to do something too, you can also not do that. You don't have to live your life with in accordance to anyone else's rules, because they're not living your particular life. You're the one living it. So whatever you do has to be for you. You have to be able to enjoy it, have to be able to live with it, have to do the best for yourself, and that best is different in different contexts. So you have to really be in tune with yourself to know what you want, know what you like, know what you can tolerate, know what you can handle, so that you can put yourself in the best positions to enjoy the most of your life before adulthood fully sets in. And even after that, after adulthood sets in, like there's still so many things, so many aspects of life that you are able to enjoy and embrace that are really enriching to your life overall. So if there are any questions that anyone has, please feel free to let me know. Any comments as well, to go ahead. And if you also have any really cool experiences about any traveling or any research that you've done, please let me know, because that'll be really cool to hear.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So you've been to France. Were you to France?
Yes, I was in France.
America.
Yeah.
Canada.
No, not Canada yet. Corona kind of stopped my plans for that.
Oh.
The countries that I've been to in the past 3 years have been the US, France, not Canada, the US, France, Spain, Italy, Greece, Vatican City. I passed through Amsterdam as well too, but I wouldn't really call that as a full-on trip because I've only really stayed in the airport. So it's just been those countries. But in those countries, I visited different cities. So in France, I was staying in a city in the west and the northwest of France called Brest. That was really cold, really windy, really rainy and cloudy a lot of the times. So that was one different climate. I was able to go to Paris a few times as well, so to celebrate my birthday and also like another festival, plus to go to museums and everything. So there are a lot of things that you can do while there. So in France, I went to 4 cities. In Spain, just Madrid. In Italy, I went to 3 cities. Greece, just Athens. And the Vatican is just, one big, small country. So the Vatican itself was just one on its own. I didn't really spend much time in the Vatican because it was very closed off. So there's, I'm not sure if you would know, but Vatican is actually the smallest city in the world, and it's within Rome itself too, which is the capital of Italy. So it's within another country, and to get access to it, you have to go a lot. You have to go through a lot of like touristy lines, and because a lot of the lines were geared towards like church things, I wasn't really interested in that. So I went just to take pictures and then left. I didn't really stay for the full Vatican tour of Basilica and the different churches in the Vatican overall. So yes, those are the countries and cities in those countries that I have visited in the past 3 years. Corona really stopped my plans from going anywhere else, both last year and this year. So I had to celebrate my birthdays locally for the first time in 2 years. But it was a different experience, but it was cool. It was cool regardless.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Hi. As a researcher, right, besides collecting data and sightseeing, what else do you do job-wise?
So in addition, because as a graduate student, we get paid to be graduate students generally, in addition to helping out with labs. So we'll do our own research for our degrees, but we also help out with undergraduate labs to show students what to do, help them with projects, help them with whatever they need, and we get paid for that. But in addition to that, we have been able to do different things. So some of the different things have been invigilating exams. So you guys would have known about like invigilators and exams. So the people that watch over you during exams are the ones that we would be when when you guys are studying or not studying, when you guys are doing your exam. So we check out to, no, I never want to give up, unfortunately. I want to go on it. So we would be in the exams, just making sure that everything is cool, everything is lit, everything is okay, no one's cheating, all scripts are collected and everything. In addition, I've worked several jobs in the past 5 years as a grad student. The first one was working as a grant manager for a particular environmental agency. So I've been able to collect or apply for grants within those agencies to fund their projects, which were focused on protecting natural environment. So they'd be ones focused on educating people in communities, collecting plastic bottles, and different things like those. So that was my first part-time job. Left that one, started traveling on my own. I've also worked as a consultant as well. So different projects that the Jamaican government or different companies in Jamaica are doing, they would require a particular assessment of the environment, of both the terrestrial environment and the aquatic environment. So they would hire researchers to come and do that assessment. I have been able to work with those particular entities to find out what organisms are there and to give them suggestions of what they can do to make sure that whatever structure they're building, it doesn't negatively impact the biology and also the ecology in general of the area, so that if they are building, say, a highway, it's going to impact the least number of species. It's going to be, or least number of species in particular environments. It's going to be very sustainable in that it's not just going to destroy the surrounding environment. It's going to keep it and maintain it intact. So that's one of the things, the additional things that researchers do. We can work with some different entities with research, and it's not even particularly restricted to biology. I've also worked in research in markets. So I've worked with market research specifically, finding out trends and different products in companies that are being used. So for example, if you're working with, say, Grace, and they have a new product that they're marketing, they want to find out how well the product is doing, how well it's received, how people like it, what they can do to improve it. And we would be a part of that team to be able to find out what those particular aspects are. So people would say that they like this more or like that more, and then that product, like depending on those small samples, those would be used to generate product marketing strategies overall to be able to sell the best adapted item to different markets. So it's, when you're a researcher, you're not limited in just whatever field you're in, because research opens you up to so many different other aspects, and it's really enlightening to be able to see like research applied in different contexts. So you don't have to be stuck, if you're doing biology, you don't have to be stuck in biology. You can do research in law, you can do research in medicine, you can do research in pretty much any field, business as well too. So you're, as long as you keep your options open and you go with what you do like, you're able to pretty much take over anywhere. So with regard to the question on have I been to a dangerous country? No, I have not. I tend to avoid dangerous countries because I'm still cautious when it comes to traveling. So obviously I'd be at roads, or I'd be on the road like in the middle of the night in particular locations. So like LA, that was fine. France, that was fine. But in certain countries, there wouldn't be as many liberties, and I do not want to die. So I try to be careful with the country that I do pick, and also really strategic as well too, because
have you been to Africa?
No, not yet. I really want to go. I really want to go to either somewhere in Africa or somewhere in Europe, in Asia next, because those are two places that I've never been and that have such different cultures from mine, and I really want to learn more about them. As much as we have like cool things in the West, there are so many other cool things in those countries and those regions that I really want to experience. And as I'm winding down on my PhD right now, I'm facing adulthood, which means I have to get a job soon. And I'm looking at different countries in go ahead.
You know, Africa, when you go to Africa, you need to bring a bucket.
A bucket? What's the bucket for?
Drinking.
Drinking? They don't have water?
They have water.
Okay.
But you need to bring a bucket.
To catch the water. Okay, cool. I'll be noted. I'll carry the water. I'll carry the bucket for the water. So yeah, I'm really, really interested in one of the main things, as much as I do enjoy research and I do enjoy what I do, one of the main things that I enjoy most is living my life and just chilling. I do like work at some points, but I understand the value of not working. Like every single day, no matter what I'm doing, when I am done with my research work, in fact, even after I worked like 11, 10 hours, 10, 11 hours straight, I will find time to watch cartoons because I really love and enjoy cartoons. And if I don't, I would go crazy. So I have to make sure that I enjoy life. And in the Western world where we live, everything is so focused on working, on doing something to be valued, to be loved, to be cared for, to be appreciated. And it sets us up for just burnouts. So if you're not working, if you're even just enjoying your time after having worked a full day working overtime, sometimes you might feel guilty by taking time off because you could be using that time to do more work. Like yeah, you could be, but you as a human being deserve to enjoy your life. Your whole purpose of in life is not to come here and work. Sure, you may enjoy work, you may enjoy what you do, but there are other things. There's so many things in the world, in life, for you to be able to enjoy that you should have that free time to be able to do so. So I
Preach.
preach indeed says like you, everybody deserves that. Like no matter what job, what position, you deserve to be able to enjoy your time as an individual because you are more than an employee or an employer or a business. You are also an individual person that experiences life in different ways. And coming across that, there'll be like sometimes, yes, I'm in Jamaica. Sometimes in, or sometime last year, I remember working myself to the bone. I would work I was working on a particular aspect of the PhD, and even though I was enjoying what I was doing, I was still burning myself out. I remember reading this tweet from someone in New Zealand saying that if your idea of rest is to make yourself better suited for work after you've done resting, then you're not actually resting. You're just pausing in between work. You are focused still on the work itself too. So there's no you enjoying life. It's just you getting ready for more work. That is not healthy. Like you individually need to have your own ideas, your own ways, your own times to just exist and not have to feel like you have to be productive, you have to be doing something to help society or to help your future. If you enjoy it, that's good enough. You will still absolutely be doing the work, but work has its own time and your life, the enjoyment of your life has its own time as well too. And you need to make time for it because no one's gonna care. Everybody will care. Everybody who's going to be focused on the work, they're gonna care about what you can do for them or what you can provide for them. But no one's gonna care about you enjoying your time. If you're stressed out and you're overworked, no one's gonna care. Only you are going to care because that's you living your life. So you need to be able to take the time out to say, hey, I there's a time for work. Yes, there's a time for not work, and I'm going to respect that. I'm not going to overwork myself to be able to impress anybody or to do any particular things. I deserve chill. I deserve chill time. So no matter what you do, whatever you're doing, make sure that you do enjoy your time. There might be some times when you have to kind of put in extra work, but still, if you can take like even half a minute, not half a minute, half an hour. Okay, I give myself personally 3 hours at least per day of just like me time. So if you can do something to make yourself enjoy that, go all ahead. No matter what it is, no matter what it is, make sure that you are able to enjoy something. If it's food, if it's friends, if it's cartoons, if it's watching movies, if it's taking a walk outside, do that and make sure you give that an aspect of priority. And also,
I know. Oh, Gav,
go
I
ahead.
just wanted to mention as well that one of the things that I always admire about you is the fact that you find when you talk about your work-life balance, I love how much you enjoy your work as well. Because I think I always admire your enthusiasm because I'm just like, how is Gavin still so enthusiastic about some of these things? Like I am burnt out and I'm tired. But even so, like everything that like most things that we do could end up being so much fun, even if what is this thing? Okay, even if it's like it's work because even our trips to like Salt River to sampling and stuff like that's so much fun and I have like so many good memories of that. And so I think that definitely finding a way to enjoy your work makes it so much easier and easier rather than just thinking of it as okay, I have to work, and then you reward yourself with 48 hours on the weekend, or you reward yourself with just a meal. You know, you have to find ways to enjoy everything you do day to day. And that's something that I know that you put a lot of emphasis on, and it's something that I always look at, I'm like, oh, I need to be more like Gavin.
Yeah, like one thing that I always remember, like when I was younger, I used to think, why couldn't we just sleep for like 5 years and then not sleep for like the next 10 years? Because I used to think of sleeping as like a waste of time because you have to do it every single day. But you need to do it every single day because your body needs that break, needs that rest. So even though it would be great to be able to do that, that's not how biological organisms are programmed, or not us at least. Snakes can do that for a little bit, but not us. So you have to find the time. Like even if you're in the middle of work, middle of something important, you can find time to enjoy even a small thing. If you're out in the field and you're like, you have a really long drive like we used to have, we could talk about whatever's going on in our lives. We could talk about school, we could talk about things we see on the road. Like it doesn't have to be like, okay, cool, have to be in work, have to think about work.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to. By the way, Gabby, show them videos yet? You show them videos of your insect
No,
eating?
I haven't showed them videos because of, you know, Yui's condition, but I do have some that I'm gonna try to push through.
Okay, if you have some, yeah, some downloads, yeah. So
Okay, definitely.
if they're not thinking, you could still probably email them to me if they will send quickly. I could always just.
Yeah, no problem. Well, sending quickly might not be the best, but let's try
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you could possibly show them
No problem.
some photos.
Share screen coming up. All right. Can you see it maximized?
Yeah, we're seeing it maximum.
Okay. So this is Tremaine in the sea with Papa Hislop collecting some data.
How do you have a video of that?
I mean, I take videos of everything. And Tremaine would know this too.
What you say?
Oh, I take videos of everything whenever I'm in the field, and Tremaine knows this as well too, because I am the paparazzi.
Why didn't you catch anything? Why didn't Tremaine catch anything?
Sometimes that's how it goes. You catch a lot in an area, you catch a lot, or you don't
Yeah.
catch a lot in a different area.
I wanted to see a fish like trying to go back
So we
into
catch
water.
small fish sometimes, so.
Yeah.
I wanted to
This is a
see
video.
fish.
Let me check if I have any fish particularly.
Oh, you have videos with somebody big, somebody fish when we caught some in a bucket, I believe.
Oh yeah, I remember we call it anchovies.
We tend to catch a lot of anchovies there. Yeah.
Wait, Jermaine, your audio's off. Wait, I guess you weren't supposed to. Okay, never mind.
Okay, I think he's singing to himself. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a sheet of yeah, this is some work. I've also visited a lot of caves in Jamaica because when I started, I was doing cave work. So this is some caves in Jamaica particularly. And on the surface, you have calcium carbonate kind of dissolved out of the water and forming a sheet of calcium carbonate overall. Can you hear the audio from the video?
No, not as clearly.
Okay. And the sheet itself could move over the water surface. So they were trying to kind of just transpose it overall.
Wow. I've never seen this video. This is cool.
Really? I've posted it, Tremaine.
Oh, I probably missed this one.
So what are they studying here? Rocks?
This one was just trying to find out what organisms are in caves, but we're just fascinated by the fact that there was a sheet of calcium carbonate on the surface of the water. I have pictures or videos of.
Oh, that was when we went at Hope Zoo with the iguanas.
Yeah. This is a hole in a river. It's kind of like a small cave in a river. You can go underneath the waterfall or the fall on the water and just chill out in a little cave. The videos are loading fine, right?
Yes, well,
Okay.
a little lag, but it's good. It's clear.
Okay.
Does she have any? Oh, there's a
A bird.
finch.
I have no idea what it is anymore. But I just collected it and was allowing it to leave, but it didn't want to leave.
Aww.
And then eventually left.
Oh, that's cute.
And all right, so much fun. This is an anemone in Discovery Bay, way back in the day. I was also an RA, someone who's in charge of undergraduate students on call, and we were able to go on other trips around the country as well too, all for free, which is like one of my favorite things. So those are some of the trips, some of the experiences we've also been on. And as usual, I was recording absolutely everything. Also, this is one of the things that I make time for when I'm in the field as well too. Being ridiculous and just being silly.
Anyone here likes Avatar? The Last Airbender?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Good,
so
good.
Gavin Gavin is more or less a waterbender. So wherever he goes, he is always trying to waterbend.
I've always considered myself an earthbender.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah, I can see it. That's awesome.
Is that a
This
croaking
is
lizard?
no, not a croaking lizard. I forget the full name.
Is it
So
a
the name-
blue-tailed galliwasp? Could it be?
No, it's not a galliwasp. No,
Galliwasp
galliwasp
thick
are
ends?
like much smoother. Yeah, they're
Oh,
bigger,
okay.
smoother, and the tail looks similar though.
Yeah,
So
I think it's a blue-tail
holding
something.
one. Yeah, on one of our mini trips. So this is one of the things that biologists do in the field. They pick up random animals and just take pictures of them.
So what kind of lizard is that?
You have to find out.
It's a lizard called an ameiva. Yeah, I remember now. It's called an ameiva.
Oh,
That lives in different places in Jamaica. This is a trip to the grill. Awesome waters, awesome situations. I was also able to jump off of that, off of a cliff there, which was also fun. This is me and another colleague, Tony Ann, pouring some preservative on some organisms, and I think one of them tries to jump out. Okay, yeah, you can see them jumping. And Tremaine was recording. One actually escaped.
oh yeah, one dropped out. So, oh yeah.
On one of our sampling trips, we were able to capture this incredibly giant, huge fish by accident, and
It's dead, isn't
it
it?
tasted good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we catch it or did the people catch it and came and show us?
No, we got it.
Oh,
No, so this was a different one. So
Wait, so you got it
while
by
we were on the
accident
trip,
and it died?
Sure, it died after it met us. The end.
How
So
would
we
it die
actually killed it and ate it.
after it met you?
It got so scared, you know, so scared of being under the water. So it just
So what kind of fish is
automatically
it?
It's called a giant sleeper.
yeah.
I think it's Eleotris.
Did you eat it?
Yeah.
Did you eat it for dinner?
Yes, we did. We curried it. Yes, we curried it and we ate it, and it was really soft.
That's
Really
nice.
so awesome. I know, right? Free food.
It always tastes
So that's
better
how
when you
big the
catch it
fish was.
yourself.
True.
I caught fish
What's-
once. Why is it alive? You said it was dead.
It eventually got dead.
Where was this? Where was
This
this
one
your
it was
sample?
in Bluefields
Oh,
in Westmoreland. Mm. So this again, another place. This is Lime Key in or off the coast of Port Royal.
So where is this?
in Lime Key, he said.
It's the
I didn't
Lime
hear.
Key off the south of
La-
off the south coast of Jamaica. Lime Key.
Oh, okay. I've never been there before, and I live in Jamaica.
Oh, cool. There are many places that we even haven't been, so definitely more places for you to be in the future. That's
Have you been to Reggae Falls?
Yeah.
to reach those.
Well, I've been to Reggae, but I can't remember. I think it was like what trip it was? I can't remember.
It was a broken dam. It was
I think it was a grand
Reggae
trip.
Falls is actually an overflowing dam.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an agave that had flowered recently and then fallen down. So as we're walking by, we kind of just saw it, took pictures and touched it. So that's it flowering and then getting ready for feeding. Also some really scenic places as well. This is a Negril again. I think we could be able to see some fish in this one. Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, was a short
Just
video?
seaweed.
And the two
That's
people.
just seaweed.
No, we had
Yeah.
you could see they're small fish, man. So anchovies.
There's some small fish. So like as you know, I studied temporary water bodies, and in one of them there were these small beetles, and it was just so really cool for me.
Ooh, I see a small fish.
Yeah, it's actually a beetle.
I once
Really
tried
tiny,
catching
so-
small fish, but they always just ran away. They always swam away too fast.
Yeah, they're always so good at running away in water. It's like they're adapted to it. This is a picture or a video of some of the fish that we used to catch.
What kind of fish is that?
Train.
That is a
Shrimmy.
that is a banana goby. It's called, I think it's goby or some more. A banana goby. That's the that's the common name. I can't remember the scientific name right.
Does it live on land and water?
It lives in it was a fish when he lives in the water, but it tends to live on the substrate, so it has like a little clasp at the bottom, like the fin, the
Why are you holding the bird like that? Who's holding the bird like that?
That's Gavin.
That's me.
Why are you
That's
doing
me.
that to
So
the poor
this is how
bird?
you hold the bird. It was so in the field in the project when we were studying the birds, we set up these giant mist nets, and then as birds fly by, they get trapped in it. So we it's part of the whole project, right? So they catch the birds so that we can collect them, identify them. So when they're there, we take them out very carefully, and we can weigh them. We can measure different aspects of them, so we can see how well they're doing. We can see how they're interacting with the environment overall. And with this one our target bird species. So I was in charge of just taking it out and releasing it. So this is me holding it.
But you didn't have
very
to hold
carefully,
it like
very
that.
safely. No, that's why you're supposed to hold it so it doesn't like wring its own neck in your hand. You can also hold it like in between, like here as well too. But for this one, I forgot the name of the grip. I think it's Bander's grip. This is how you hold it when you're doing particular things.
Yellow chest?
But it was fine.
I think it's a yellow chest.
Yes,
It's a banana.
a what? A banana.
A banana quit.
A banana goat. Oh, that's
Quit.
cute.
So
Banana quit.
banana quit. Banana
Oh,
quit.
banana quit.
Yeah. And this one is banded. You can see like a little piece of metal on its leg. So that whenever we catch it, we can identify what individual it is. And like catching it over the years, you can see how well those different individuals do in the environment. So if they're here every year, then they come back to rest and nest and feed. So it's going to be a good environment for them to live in. See if I can pause right at the band. Yeah, there. I'm not sure. Okay. Can you see my pointer?
Yeah, I'm seeing the band there.
Yeah, so that's the metal band around their leg. Doesn't hurt them. They're very thin. So just to find out who they are specifically. This one didn't want to leave.
Why doesn't it want to fly?
I don't know. It's just really liked me.
No, it was in shock because you were holding it by its neck.
Maybe, but it's fine. No death, no injuries either. This is a dragonfly nymph exoskeleton. So after dragonflies come out of the water, they leave their skin behind and then become adults. And I just took a video of this one.
Oh.
This is more videos of us under the freezing cold waterfall. Hislop, our supervisor, just walking through. Tremaine swimming in.
Gavin, is this the video where?
No.
Oh.
All right, what else? Ooh. So this one was an old one. This is a damselfly that I collected in St. Anne, just in some fields. On one of our sampling trips, Tony, whose sampling site this was, is studying springs in the area, and as part of our treatment at one of the springs, we put on mud masks and did this.
That's why your face looks so green. I thought you ate a bad fish.
No. We had on masks. This is actually a stream within a cave. So back when I was doing cave work, I used to visit a lot of different caves, and in this one, you could see like the water was just flowing, and it was so cool. Cave work is very tiring, by the way. So if you're ever gonna do that, make sure you're up for the challenge.
So you never videoed
And this is
you're sucking the food, cooking the fish?
No. We didn't cook it in the field. We brought it back and we cooked it. Ooh, I have video of. Hold on.
I think we have time for like probably 2 more videos. Oh yes, this is it. Yay. See, we catch fish. But I can't say we don't catch fish, you know.
That a jack, yeah, that's some jacks.
Yeah, they are.
I caught a snapper once.
And was a snapper in there too? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I caught a red snapper.
That's good.
Nice. Did you eat it?
Romania ate it?
Did you eat it?
What you say?
Did you eat?
Did you eat it?
Yes, I ate it.
Awesome.
All right. Nice. So on another project, I helped some graduate students collect data on a core in Port Royal, and they built a makeshift boat with all of that. And it was quite interesting to watch them get a hold of it, because there would be like waves that come in and come and go, and they try to stabilize a particular core of a giant cylinder through that piece of wood to get a good sample of a core. So this was them.
Oh, that's really cool. Considering how the water runs, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
The idea of it, yeah.
Yeah. This is Dr. Byrne and Romario going out. And finishing off a waterfall. a small waterfall. Waterfalls are cold, very cold. I think I have some videos of me at sea. Yeah, so this is some underwater footage of the underwater. That video. So on one of my fellow grad students' trips,
I think
an
you
urchin.
were you doing
Guys,
some
you all know about
backflips?
this. You all know about these
Your sea urchin.
urchins. Yes, but what type they are?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
sea urchins. They are diadema. I think I taught you all about that yesterday. So yeah.
yeah. So those are diadema live from the field. So when I was helping a graduate student with her data work, while they were off collecting their data diving, I was just there swimming around the water, taking videos of different things. I even got to see a cuttlefish, which was awesome, but I didn't catch it on video. Oh, there's the boat in the distance. And me still swimming. I checked every now and again to make sure the boat was there, so it didn't leave me. And I guess I could see.
So do you have an oxygen tank or what?
No, this is just at the surface. I dive and get the surface most of the time, and then just dive closer.
Guys,
Different things.
all my tropical forest students, I hope you're all looking at the reef and seeing. I think he just passed over. Oh, you all seeing that? Pause it, Gav.
Yeah.
What
I think it's Thomas.
what species of coral is this? Let me see. Ivanka.
The staghorn coral.
Yes, you all should know. Good job, Jermaine. You all should know that it's a staghorn. No, that's not a staghorn because that's an elkhorn. It's an elkhorn coral. That's the Apocora palmata. That's the wider
Oh, sorry, something to mix up elk and stag. Sorry.
Right. That's okay. So yes, this is a elkhorn coral. Good job.
And
Fans, I'll see sea fans.
Yeah, so where are all the fishies? I want to see fishies.
there weren't many apparently.
Yeah.
They're not
I think I
things for them
spoke
to
to
eat.
you yesterday, reminding you all that in Jamaica, sometimes what we struggle with because Jamaica is a country that depends heavily on fishing. Sometimes we tend to, Jamaica especially tends to overfish their reefs at times. So they don't have as many fish on the reef. They're probably there, but also it's also during the day, and some of them are nocturnal. So some of them are probably in between the rocks, kind of nothing.
Hiding from me. But it was a really good experience though. What coral is this?
See which one? That is, what's it? That's a fabulata or Bicella fabulata.
I don't know anymore,
Oh.
Tremaine. That was years ago.
I think this one is
a type of brain coral.
I think this one is the Orbicella fabulata. I can't remember the undulating coral. I can't remember the common name, but I think I remember the thing. This is the fabulata and a shape and also. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Gav, if they would have you, and if they don't have anything planned for next week, maybe we could have another session if you want, and if you're not busy, I know you're a busy guy. But
Yeah.
but thank you so much, so very much for this session. I think we're running out of the time. But guys, you all have any last questions for Gavin before he goes, and before you wrap up?
It was a pleasure to be here and to share more of experiences. I hope someone got interested in going to the field of collecting data.
I hope so. It make me miss the field because I've been kind of locked up for like a year and a half, and it's like I want to go back out the field. I want to go on a reef. I want to go just in the bush and do something. I want to go in some cave, something or the other, something.
Yes.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Do you live in an apartment?
Yeah, I do. Well, a studio apartment. It's not a big apartment, but yeah.
Yeah, I realize your bed is over there. Your kitchen's right
It's
there.
right. Yeah, so this is one of the apartment where the studios on hall. So everything is pretty much kind of just self-contained. The bed is there, the bathroom is behind here, kitchen here. So it's basic, all you need for.
Where's the TV?
I don't use TV. I use my laptop only.
Well, that's sad. What you gonna do when you need to watch cable?
No one watches cable anymore.
Which is cable still, yeah. You have Netflix,
Watch
you
cable.
have Disney Plus.
I mean, like watch live athletics on cable. I don't really watch cable. I have Netflix, but I mean, like watch your live athletics.
Well,
Streaming.
yeah, they have streams, yeah.
And if they don't, then I'll see it later somewhere.
For you. Ivanka, I think you had a question. Go ahead, Ivanka.
Do you need certain subjects to become a researcher?
Yeah, depending on the field. So you can be a researcher in many fields. You can be a researcher in medicine, a researcher in law, a researcher in the sciences, researcher in business as well too. So you can become a researcher in any field. So as long as you're within a particular field, so if you're doing business, you can specialize and do research, particularly with a master's. You can do research in that aspect. You do the basic undergrad first, and then you can specialize into research. But when it comes to scientific research, you can start at any point in your career, in your graduate career. So you can be an undergraduate researcher or a graduate researcher. But most times here in Jamaica or the Caribbean in general, people are graduate researchers or graduate students before they become researchers. So no matter what field you're in, you can be a researcher, and you do need particular subjects to be within those fields. If you go into biology, you need biology. If you go into business, you need business subjects, and you can be a researcher in each of those. So just do your best in whatever you do like, whatever you do enjoy, and then you will, if you want to go into research in whatever field.
I think you say you want to do corals or just biological research in general. If you want to do,
I like the sea, so I was thinking about being a marine biologist.
Right.
So one of the things I want to let you guys know is that yes, you will want to go in a particular field when you start, but when you get experiences in so many different other fields, you realize that there's so much more out there that you could study corals, you could study mangroves, you could study seagrass. There's so many different things, and when you get into the field, get into the environment, that's when you get a feel of what it is, and you can just specialize in whatever area you want. So marine biology, great, awesome, go for it, but don't be too focused, because there are other things that you could be enjoying more or less. So just keep your eyes open and keep your heart going.
And I want to co-sign what Gavin is saying, because same thing with me. I love corals. However, for my research, sometimes, especially at my time, there were a lot of people studying corals, So, and I was able to an easier and more feasible, in terms of finances and in terms of funding. It was easier for me to do some fish research, and I enjoy it very much. And one day, I'm not saying that I will count out corals completely, but having the experience in multiple fields is very important. And as such, I'm gonna wrap up now, guys. Thank you all for coming, and we all need to head out. My students, go ahead, Gab.
Oh, you can send them the link to the channel or the website.
All right, you have a YouTube channel. It's true. Gab, you have it. You want to type it in the chat one time? Your YouTube channel, the name of it. I'll post the link on the e-Biome site as well. But students, I'm not giving you all a quiz tomorrow, because I know you all have an assignment due for Monday. So I am not going to do any quizzes tomorrow. That's just for me. I know I don't want to add anything more on the plate, because I'm expecting assignments on Monday. And then for the tropical forest students, I know you all are observing your terrarium and still have to make your terrarium, some of you. So yeah. So guys, say thank you to Gavin, and let's head out.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for
coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Very good. Where do you choose? Bye.
The link to the website. Oh wait, hold on.
Post this, and then I'll link it as well on e-Biome.
All right. So it is. So that's the link to the website, and from the website you can find the videos themselves and then the whole channel. So one spot for everything. And you get to see different videos of me in different countries and different fields. So go enjoy. And I also have a bunch of videos that I'm going to eventually publish. So tune in for those ones later on. Bye guys.
Bye. Bye you all. See you on Monday.
Bye. teacher. Bye, Miss.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bum.
Bye-bye.